Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another top 10 list, going to be counting down who I think are the top 10 toughest survivors up to current point, which is the start of Season 6 of the Walking Dead television series. Okay, and possible spoiler warning if you guys aren't caught up on The Walking Dead should be for this list. That's it. Okay, so after Season 5, a lot of things have changed. It's been a long time since I've done one of these types of videos. I think about 2 or 3 years since I've done one of these in particular from looking through the video history. Even though I do so many, sometimes it's hard for me to keep track. That said, though, this was one of the most requested type of top 5, top 10 videos. I was thinking about top 5, decided I would extend this to a top 10 since there's so many strong survivors throughout the series, and I've included survivors that are still alive and survivors that were killed off earlier, just in terms of how tough they seem to be and who I think would win versus others, and just all around who are the toughest survivors. So without further ado, let's get into the list. So at number 10, I'm going to go with current survivor still alive, and that would be Sasha. Very tough survivor, amazing with firearms, that's for sure. Has lost a lot throughout Season 5 and still seems to be able to keep on, kicking. Maybe a bit reckless with zombies and taking the offensive against them, but that said, we can understand it, and she's still alive, she's still kicking. I don't really get the impression that Michonne and Rosita saved her, so to speak. I think she probably would have been okay one way or another, unless she got carelessly bitten by a zombie. But a super tough survivor nonetheless, an amazing shot, and kind of our Walking Dead television series version of Andrea for the future, it seems like. So I had to put her on the list. I'll put her at number 10. Very tough survivor, especially because of her skills, against and how quick on the draw she is against other survivors too. She's going to be super tough, right? And she's got the tenacity to go with it. So it's really tough combination. Number 10, Sasha. Number 9. Going to be one of our earlier characters from the Walking Dead television series. That'd be from the first couple seasons. Shane, you guys know he's one of my favorite characters in the series. Still one of my favorites, and I definitely have to put him on the list there for top 10. I'm going to put him at number 9. I think that Shane, obviously was a bit emotional at the end there, and not being able to kill Rick, yes, but versus other survivors, because he cares about Rick. Rick's like his best friend, basically. But versus other survivors that he doesn't care about, we saw with Otis and that, extremely tough, willing to kill if he has to, and was willing to change and evolve to do that earlier on in the series, to kind of release his, previous morals and values sort of change, to survive in the zombie apocalypse. So I'm going to put him at number 9 because he is a super tough survivor. Great with a shotgun, of course, good runner, and just very, very tough even early on. So he's going to be number 9. Number 8, I'm going to put Abraham. So Abraham, really, really tough survivor, obviously tough hand-to-hand, great zombie killer, big, strong, good shot, able to get Eugene and Rosita all that way, just to show how strong he really is as a survivor. Has to be on the list. I'm going to put it number 8. So narrowly beating him out would be the governor. So of course the governor gets killed off in a battle versus our survivors. But if it wasn't for that, I mean, if he didn't face Rick and the others, I would tend to think that he would go on for a very long time doing exactly what he was doing, even just in Woodbury, with basically no threat to him. So he's a really, really tough survivor, and even by himself, strong at killing zombies by himself, as we saw in Season 4. An amazing shot, of course, even with one eye. Even looking through the wrong scope, if you guys have seen that meme. As he looks through and he's got the one eye. And he's Anyway, great survivor. Going to put him at number 7, the governor. Number 6. Is going to be Merle, so narrowly beating out the governor. Killed, how many was it? 26? I sometimes forget the count. 26 survivors, super tough, good with the blade hand, really cool survivor. Miss having him in the show, really great for those action sequences, and happy for Michael Rooker that, of course, he was in Guardians of the Galaxy, and his career has seems to have just gotten bigger and better as a result of The Walking Dead. So really tough survivor. Daryl's only brother, of course. Merle, really cool survivor. Now we're to our top 5. So this is the meat and potatoes, so to speak, of what we were going to get to. Number 5. So number 5, I'm going to put Michonne. Very tough survivor, female, very sneaky, very strong, especially for a female. Good at, close combat, of course. Great with her sword, able to sneak up on guys. And even Merle, with a group of his own guys, was not able to actually track her down and catch her, which is pretty incredible considering how they had, firearms, they had, vehicles, and he was not able to track her down and actually, catch her, hound it. Which brings us to some of the points of why I put Michonne where she's at. If you remember the go back thing, and she drops down in Predator style, is just cutting guys up. Also because she was able to survive on her own for a very, very long time. Also take care of Andrea when she was sick, and just make it on her own with regards to, fending off zombies and fighting off zombies for a super long time. So very, very good survivor, very strong, able to withstand, pretty much anything and still remain positive in the TV series version. The comic book series version is a different story. So that's number 5. Number 4, just above her, I'm going to put Carol. Yeah, I'm going to put Carol. Now, this was one I struggled with a bit. I'm like, who should I put? Should I put Carol or should I put Michonne? Which one should be higher than the other? That's a really tough call. That's really tough to say. But I'm going to go with Carol because she's so crafty. Also because I do think, obviously we saw with Terminus and her attacking and everything, that she is very clever, and even what she's been doing in Alexandria, playing possum and all that, very sneaky, very clever. Not that she would beat Michonne one-on-one if it was like a sword versus. If Michonne got close enough, yeah, she would probably, be able to kill Carol. But, Carol is really crafty. She can play the possum card. She can use the play dead card, no threat here card against other survivors and stuff. Very, very sneaky, able to survive pretty much anything, even the loss of. We get the sense she's probably lost more than anybody else, and she's still able to, to strive on, to carry on. So I'm going to put her there just because she's so crafty. Of course, she's a good shot too, and she's willing to do just about anything to survive, and is extremely, extremely clever. So that's why I would put her at number 4, highest female on the list. Number 3, I'm going to put Morgan. Character that's still alive right up until this point, even 2 wolves by himself, able to take both of them down without seemingly any trouble at all. Traveled all that way by himself, without being killed off randomly by any survivors or anything of the sort, seemingly on foot, from what we can tell. Now, he may have, that's a pretty far distance, so I'm sure we would have used some vehicles at some point, which we didn't get to see. But that said, very, very tough survivor. Survived on his own longer than anybody. You had Michonne on her own for a while, but Morgan, from what we know, at least up to this point, was on his own for like ever. He was on his own for the longest time. And just to be able to carry on, to be able to keep fighting to survive, extremely, extremely tough survivor. And then almost killed Rick in his confusion in season 3. So there you go. Number 2, I am going to put Rick. Yeah, I think he has to be there. In the end, he did end up killing Shane. He's killed a lot of survivors along the way, has really become a lot tougher as things have gone on. Not necessarily your atypical good guy anymore, even tougher, than just your regular. You say, oh, he's a good guy. Doesn't even view himself really as a good guy, or doesn't really view it as mattering, because he's willing to do whatever it takes. So I'm going to put him at number 2. Really tough call between him and our number 1. Number 1, of course, going to be Daryl as the toughest survivor, I would say. Obviously been through a lot, lost pretty much everything himself as well too, even though Rick still has Carl, still has Judith and that. Daryl doesn't really have anything. I mean, he's developed new bonds with our current survivors, but as he's having these bonds created, he still has a good one with Carol. But as we saw with Beth and some of the others, losing them, not having a lot of these people that he's grown to care about, people dying, Herschel and the others. Same with effects on Rick and the other characters as well, too. But I do get the sense now at this point, I think that Daryl is probably your best survivor out there in the open. Tons of practice doing it. Great to have on runs. And, extremely dangerous with the crossbow, obviously. Super tough survivor at this point. I think he surpassed his brother. Yeah, I think he surpassed pretty much everybody else in the past and become an extremely, extremely strong survivor. Also able to feed himself, able to hunt, able to, even from the very beginning, survive pretty much anywhere, even like camping or out in the open in the wild, able to survive without really anybody's help. similar to Morgan and some of the others, but extremely tough survivor. I would put Daryl at number 1. Also because I do think that out in the open, with his skills, his hearing and everything, he's Wolverine. He might even, if it went down between him and Rick, I may do a video like that. People requested that, so I'll talk more about that in that video. But at this point, I'm going to put Daryl at number 1, so you can think about how I think that would go. Anyway, there's my list for my top 10 toughest survivors. Let me know what you guys think and what your opinion is on your top 5, top 3, top 10, whatever you think. Anybody I missed? There's been so many characters throughout the series. It's hard to consider. Some of the others I thought of were like, you've got Glenn, of course. Then there was Tyrese, Gareth, Martin, some of these other, bad guy characters that if it wasn't for Rick and the gang, very, very strong, very smart is Gareth and some of the others. So let me know what you guys think about all that. You've got Joe's group and tons of characters all throughout the series. Let me know what you guys think. And if you like the video, please thumb it up below. If you want to support the channel, please share it, please favorite it. And that's it for this video, guys. If you want to subscribe, if you want to join the herd, go ahead and do it. Click the button at the bottom left. That's it for this video. See you guys for the next one. As always, it's Trev saying peace. Later, guys. See you.